The APTeam. One of the most infamous creating organizations in Geometry Dash history. This team has received recognition and respect from nearly every corner of the community. Hosted by Zimnoir 12, this elite group is known for their gorgeously decorated levels and incredible work ethic. But where does a team of this caliber originate from? Every player has their origin in this game, and teams are no exception. It turns out that the story of the APTeam is one built entirely on chance, hard work, and ambition. From one small creator's dream and a few supportive friends came the outbreak and exposure of one of the most brilliant and renowned aggregations to ever step foot in the spotlight of the community eye. This is the history of the APTeam. To begin our story, we have to travel back in time to 2016, when Geometry Dash 2.0 had just been released. Our focus is on a small-time creator with under 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, Zimnoir 12. Zimnoir had been in and around playing and creating in GD since late 1.8, and unfortunately, he didn't find much success in creating on YouTube. But this was all about to change. Zim was about to make a decision that would veer the course of not only his career, but the careers of many others, and the path of the game in general. Since the legendary trilogy of Cataclysm, Bloodbath, and Aftermath had been completed, Zimnoir saw a YouTube video of all 3 levels being mashed into one clip. This prompted him to make After Catabath, the full 3-level version of the levels, and eventually, this idea morphed into the prospect of redecorating, revamping, and combining all 3 levels into one unimaginably hard, gorgeous level of epic proportions. Of course, this was a pipe dream at the time, as he was a very unknown creator, and an ambitious project like that would take so much time, effort, and organization that it would be almost destined to fail from the start. However, Zimnoir didn't pay this any mind and decided that he would try his best to create this mega collab. Little did he know that he would be setting off a chain of events that would lead to the rise of one of the most elite creating factions in the history of this game. To begin this collab, Zimnoir had to get some builders. There was no way he could decorate the entire level by himself, and fortunately, he had some creating friends that agreed to help him build the level. This was one of, if not the most ambitious project of its time, and the prospect of it excited the original creators behind it. The most notable figure in the name of getting the project underway was Eclipsed, a creator who is now Zimnoir's friend and luckily a much more well-known player in the creating community. Because of this, Eclipsed was able to help Zim get members to build in the collab. From the beginning of this collab, both Zim and all the early members shared the ideal of introducing unnoticed creators in the collab, and this ideal is one that Zim still stands by today. With the help of Eclipsed, Zimnoir listed some early members such as Alex PG, Creeper4, Vindic, Skullkid, and Player Wombat. Eclipsed also came up with the name for the level, the Apocalyptic Trilogy. Once there was a decent amount of creators invested in the collab, progress began. In the early stages of the level, all the organization was done over direct messages on Discord, so there was no real team element to the collaboration. Despite this, many people joined, so a Discord server was made around 2 months into the development of the level, a server that would become the home base of the APTeam. Since many people were joining the project, progress was happening quickly and the level was beginning to gain traction. Unfortunately, however, as it is with any mega collab, many people didn't finish their part and dropped out. Nonetheless, the project was catching fire in the community, and the level would soon reach the ears of a player who would soon become one of the most renowned in the game's history. Ever since his rise in 2.0, Sonix has become a legend of the Geometry Dash community. To his Sonic Wave verification to his robotic Extreme Demon beating speed, he has become one of the most well-known players to ever step foot in this game. Like all players, however, Sonix came from humble beginnings. Before the alias we all know him by today, Sonix used to be known as Deem, back when he was a small YouTuber who, in 2016, only had 400 subs, but who was growing in skill and fame fast. Zimnoir had been a fan of Deem, or Sonix, for a while, and he eventually decided to ask him if he would like to verify his upcoming Extreme Demon, the Apocalyptic Trilogy. Sonix obliged, as he had no real encounter with a big verification project before, and it was an exciting prospect. Sonix would become invested in the project and come to love the level, and he still has this affection today. A good thing to remember is that the difficulty of APT was never meant to be a top 5 extreme, and the buffs would come as the creators built their parts. After all, when Sunix accepted the verification project, he still had a long way to go in terms of increasing his skill level, and so did the common extreme demon difficulty in the demons list. When Sunix pledged to verify the project, the level was being created fast, and since the Discord server had been created, the builders behind the project were starting to get to know each other better and build a more team-like attitude towards approaching the level. Progress continued slowly but surely, and 2.1 rolled around as the level continued to be worked on. It would take around a year and a half until the level was finished, but eventually, in October of 2017, the legendary project was finally completed. The creators behind the level now established themselves in a community, and they now referred to themselves as the APTeam, courtesy of the first level they ever made. The APTeam was now anxious and ready for another project to work on as they waited for the verification of the Apocalyptic Trilogy, and fortunately, a new opportunity would come very shortly. Unfortunately, another event that happened in 2017 was the breaking of the Apocalyptic Trilogy. This was a catastrophic event for the team that happened just before Sunix was given the level, where the game was updated to version 2.113, and all groups beyond 999 stopped working. The Apocalyptic Trilogy had well over 1,000 groups, and this resulted in many parts on the level breaking entirely. This put the verification on hold, and the level was postponed until 2.2 when groups past 1,000 would work again. However, recently the Geometry Dash editor expert Davla helped Zimnoir fix the level, and now it is complete and ready for verification. Sunix has suggested that he will most likely begin the verification in May. The APTeam's next project would originate from a creator who was already a member of the group, Splash. Splash had been working on a level called God of Despair, a level which he only had 10 seconds of completed. When Zimnoir saw it, he fell in love with the song and the idea, and he asked Splash if he could turn it into the next APTeam Mega Collab. Splash happily obliged. This would later be presented to the public as the G of D project, which shrouded the level in secrecy and excitement. This level was originally meant to be a sequel to the Apocalyptic Trilogy, hence the iconic skull at the beginning of the level, but the idea was dropped and it is now a standalone level. The project's full gameplay and first part were finished in March of 2018, but progress ceased from there on as 2 new levels came onto the team's radar that would take priority. The level is still alive, however, and though it will probably take another year of building to finish, Zimnoir and the team plan to revamp the gameplay and decoration in the future to give the level a new, fresh look. Just 3 days after the team took control of God of Despair, another project was taken under the wing of the APTeam. This one would originate from one of the most famous creators and players in the history of this game, KNOBBELBOY. Before Nob blew up back in 1.9, he had dabbled in creating a fair bit, and he had made a few attempts at demon levels. They are still public on his account, and the first example of this was a stalemate-inspired level named Hopeless. It was entirely red and black, and the gameplay was not very good, as it was an old 1.9 level. However, when Zimnoir saw this, he thought it would be a cool idea to revamp the level's decoration entirely and re-release it as a brand new, cave-themed extreme demon. When Zimnoir asked Nob if he could remake the forgotten level, he gladly accepted. And so the decoration of the level began by the APTeam, and slowly but surely the creation was built. The level was finished around 2 months ago, and Zim believes it is one of the best APTeam mega collabs. Many people unfortunately misconceive its theme, however, and say it is another generic red hell level, when in actuality it is cave themed and has a lot more history than most levels out there. I think they did a great job of capturing the essence of the old level and making it look beautiful, and I think it's one of the best APTeam mega collabs. It will be polished, buffed, and verified by KNOBBELBOY when he finishes all his other projects. Despite this being a KNOBBELBOY level, it has not gained much community attention, but the next project that the team would work on would finally put them in the spotlight they deserve. On the 25th of February, 2018, community-famous legend Riot direct messaged Zimnoir via Discord. He had been absent from the community for a while, but he was still out and about sometimes, finishing the organization of his old projects. One of these projects was Sonic Wave Infinity, one of the most famously difficult extreme demons of all time, and one of the most anticipated levels ever. Riot had seen the Apocalyptic Trilogy, and he was looking for a team to decorate Sonic Wave Infinity with core-style 2.1 decoration. This was why he contacted Zimnoir, and he happily accepted Riot's offer on the behalf of the APTeam. After Zim agreed, the team enthusiastically got to work. Unfortunately, Riot was never active during the building process, and Zimnoir just updated him 3 to 5 times a year on the level's progress. Because of this, Zim essentially had free will to do what he wanted with the project, as Riot never specified exactly what decoration he wanted. The team has spent countless hours building the level, and only when Mycrafted was enlisted as the verifier, around 7 months ago, did Riot start to become interested. However, Sonic Wave Infinity is not the only Riot project that the APTeam is decorating. In August of 2018, after the APTeam had been working on Sonic Wave Infinity for a while, Zimnoir asked Riot if he could also oversee the decoration of a new version of Cosmic Cyclone. Riot obliged, and Zimnoir got to work. The level has had many gameplay changes, with former verifier combined not liking the first ship and ballpark. In response to this, a remake of the gameplay was commissioned by Britank and then by Real Vet, but now the level is back to its original gameplay, just tweaked by Xander. Progress is slow but steady, and the current verifier is unknown top player Merc. Unfortunately, though, most APTeam mega collabs were on hold, as Riot was pressuring the team to finish SWI as soon as possible. The team worked very hard to finish the level as a result, and after 22 months of hard work, the draft version of the level was finished and showcased in December of 2019. However, the level was met with drastic reviews, and many people complained that the level was ugly, messy, inconsistent, and not well made, though many parts have also been praised, most notably the end screen. Zimnoir considered all of these complaints, and for the past few months he has been fixing the level's transitions, triggers, and decorations. Many of the parts have also been remade and optimized by the original creators, and Zimnoir is doing his best to make sure the level is the best that it can be. It has been very stressful, though, as Riot has recently told Zim that he has been lying about his thoughts on the level, and he is disappointed with the decoration. He said that he wanted to have the level that the APTeam made be under a different name, and that he would go to find other decorators to make the real Sonic Wave Infinity. Zimnoir was understandably outraged, and he told Riot that his team had poured their souls into the level, and that Riot had done nothing during the development process, and that it was his fault if he hadn't spoken up in the beginning when the decoration and planning of the level was still being made. Riot acknowledged this and took a step back, allowing Zim to keep the level as SWI, and the two parties reached a satisfactory conclusion via Mycrafted, who came up with the idea of having the Ultra LDM version of the level be the Legacy version, so that there would be no lag. The level is nearing completion now, and Zimnoir only has a few more fixes to make before he starts merging the level with the new layout that Mycrafted has super buffed, playtested, and finished. Endlevel is decorating the ULDM version of the level, and the project seems to be finally coming together. In my opinion, the APTeam version is stunningly gorgeous, and I applaud Zimnoir for how he takes criticism so well. Zimnoir has been consistently streaming his progress on SWI, and the level should not take that much longer to finish. After SWI, we should see some progress on levels like God of Despair and Cosmic Cyclone, and we might see them decorate some new projects shortly. This is where the team's history and present day meet, but it's not where the team's influence meets its end. We can expect so much more from this organization in the future, and since they're only growing, it's only a matter of time until we see them come up with a new, incredible product. And thus, we have recapped the history of the APTeam up until the present day. From the beginning of their legacy with the Apocalyptic Trilogy to their outbreak with levels like Sonic Wave Infinity and Cosmic Cyclone, this creating organization will no doubt go down in history and further their legacy farther than we can even imagine right now. Teams like Team N2 in the past suffered from poor management and unlucky circumstances, but with a great leader in the APTeam and countless dedicated creators and helpers willing to give their time, there is no doubt in my mind that they will continue to create, inspire, and amaze. They are taking their organization to the next level, as they have recently made a professional website that lists lots of information about them as a whole, and they plan on making a public Discord server shortly. Before I end this video, though, I just want to thank Zimnoir for helping me out with this video. He gave me the idea, and he has been more than willing to walk me through every step of the APTeam's history in a one-on-one environment, which I think is super cool. I think it's weird to say I'm giving him a shout out as he has more subscribers than me, but seriously, if you aren't subbed to him, go check out his channel. He's an incredibly good creator and a very hard worker. I also want to thank you all for the crazy support. We hit 1,000 subs in the past few weeks, and that's just insane to me. You've all been so nice and incredibly supportive in the comments, and I can't thank you enough. I think this is probably my best video, so you can all consider this a sort of 1K special. With all that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed and learned something new from this video. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.